Today I'm going to be doing a feminist critique of Does My Head Look Big in This? So one of the first questions that I want to address is, what does the work imply about the possibilities of sisterhood as a mode of resisting patriarchy? This is an interesting question when we look at Does My Head Look Big in This, because Amal, the main character, often relies heavily on her friends Yasmin and Leela as a support system, especially as she goes through the trials and tribulations, not only of wearing the hijab in high school in a primarily Anglo-Saxon group where that might bring judgment about on her, but also to resist the issues both with boys in her class and teachers and even her parents, all as operating as symbols of male hegemony. When things go badly for Amal, she often goes back to her friends, her collection of female companions, in order to find a support system where she feels like she has love and she has people who have suffered the same things she has. That idea of sisterhood as a mode of resisting patriarchy becomes even more important when we look at Leela, though. Amal's friend Leela comes from a mother who's comes from Turkey and has had no educational background, and as a result has tried to push her own non-educated and more rural value system onto her decidedly suburban daughter. Leela plans on becoming a lawyer someday and going to college to do that, while her mother does not want her to do anything except get married while she is still 16 years old and begin having children. It is only because of Amal and Yasmin's support that Leela is eventually able to turn the tables on her mother in a kind of unacceptable way by running away, but does manage, because of the support of her friends, to stand up for her own rights and eventually earn that opportunity at the table. When we look at the relationships between men and women portrayed in Does My Head Look Big in This, we see a lot of the same sorts of issues. In particular, because Muslim men are not required to wear the hijab while women are, and while modesty is certainly a value for both genders, it is not displayed as prominently for men. We can see the very decision to wear a hijab automatically establishes a difference in portrayal between men and women. And while Amal's situation certainly does highlight several elements not only in the Muslim community but also in Australia about gender roles, again, the character of Leela in the story brings that much more closely to light. Leela's brother is allowed to do whatever he wants. He is an open drug user and alcoholic. He is in a relationship with a non-Muslim girl, and yet her parents allow all of that to go on, while she, who is wearing the hijab and is studying hard, getting good grades, and does a lot of things people would consider good, does not get to do the things that her brother gets to do at all. In fact, she may not even get to go to college. She definitely doesn't get to choose who she dates. And so that portrayal of men and women and that lack of hegemony for Leela, because of the value system of her mother and also the patriarchy which forced that originally onto her mother, really resounds throughout.